Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We, most of you know, and the media, of course, knows that every Friday we just have a wonderful opportunity to highlight a number of people in our community. Today we have three different individual groups and individuals that we're going to highlight for the citizens of Albuquerque. Number one, to show folks exactly what the great public safety personnel in our city do. We also have an award today for someone in our community who's saving lives in a very meaningful way. And then we're also going to talk about educating our students in high school and getting them a running start. So today's a good day to celebrate a lot of the great work that's happening in our city. So we're going to start today with Friday's Heroes. And today's Friday's Heroes are both from the Albuquerque Police Department and from the Albuquerque Fire Department. We have APD officers Vincent Martinez with us here, so everybody just kind of raise your hand as I go around. APD officer John Burley is here with us. Albuquerque Fire Department Rescue and Engine 4 from Engine and Rescue 4. James Perez is with us here. He's a lieutenant. Driver Ross Roybal is with us today. Lieutenant Michael Brophy is with us. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. Driver Carl Zink could not be with us today, but firefighter Brant Gibbs is here, I believe, and also firefighter Jeff Dahlman. Is Jeff here today? Oh, that's right. You just told me he couldn't make it today, so sorry about that. So here's the story we want to tell today. About 2 weeks ago, these officers and firefighters and paramedics saved a man's life. And that wouldn't seem unusual for these heroes because they do that on a regular basis. But the story is a little bit different. On September 13th, APD received a call reporting a possible drunk driver. When officers Vicente Martinez and John Burley found the car in question, instead of finding an intoxicated person, they found the initial caller clenching his chest. He was unresponsive, pulseless, and not breathing. The officers immediately jumped into action, removed the man from the car, requested EMS, and began CPR. Both officers dedicated themselves to resuscitating the man. When the rescue and engines from the Albuquerque Fire Department got to the scene, the officers continued to assist by holding an IV, helping to lift the man onto a stretcher. AFD's Engine 4 then took over, and Rescue 6 unit also arrived and started performing advanced life support intervention. Together with the assistance of AFD personnel, the man's heartbeat and breathing was reestablished. And on the way to the hospital, the man was listed in critical condition, but by the next day he was fully alert. He was communicating with his doctors and is expected to make a full recovery thanks to the quick actions of AFD and APD first responders. So it's a story basically about somebody being in a health crisis. Somebody thought the individual was intoxicated when in fact this individual that called in, I think it was the person that called in. I'll let you tell the rest of the story, but he called in about a drunk driver, but when we got there, it was the person that actually called in about the drunk driver that was having the cardiac arrest. So the bottom line is this. The firefighters and the police officers in our community have a fun rivalry. You know, they're both out there every day doing great work. They're always, you know, they're always playing sports against each other. I think he even goes as far as having boxing matches occasionally. But when they're out there on the streets of Albuquerque, they're out there to save lives. And this is just a great example of what can happen when the two departments work together and they do it on a daily basis. I'm going to have both a couple of chiefs talk. I'm going to have Deputy Chief Huntsman come up and say a few words on the APD side. I'll have Chief Downey come up and say a few words on the AFD side. And then we've got some awards for our heroes as well. Chief Huntsman.
Thank you, Mayor. This is incredible actions by these two officers. They were originally dispatched to stop a drunk driver. The fellow that ended up having a heart attack was actually following the drunk driver and giving really good information in detail as to where he was, what he was doing. When they contacted the drunk driver, they did determine that he was intoxicated, and when they went back, and I believe it was Officer Martinez who went back to contact the driver, realized that he was in a medical emergency. He assessed the situation right away, got his fellow officer to come back and help him, and the gentleman went into full cardiac arrest, at which time they started to perform CPR. And if you've never done CPR, it's something that will stick with you for the rest of your life, and I'm sure you guys will never forget this. So on behalf of the Albuquerque Police Department, Chief Eden, who couldn't be here today, thank you for showing the community what we do every day that's so positive and takes care of our community. We're very proud of you. Thank you to the families that support you and for being here today.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Much like Chief Huntsman said, this is a great example of the kind of service that all public safety providers in the city can give to the members of Albuquerque. CPR is going to be sort of a theme this morning with one of the next presentations the mayor is going to make, but it is really, really important what we're going to emphasize today in terms of CPR and early 911 and early defibrillation, and then early arrival with paramedics provide advanced cardiac life support. These are the kind of outcomes that we hope to see a lot more of in the city as we sort of start to train citizens for bystander CPR. I too want to thank the Engine 4 and the Rescue 6 crew for the outstanding work that they do every day, and Mayor for giving them a special recognition today. This is what we do every day, and these are the outcomes we always work and strive for. So thank you, gentlemen, very much for what you do every day.
Thank you. So what we've done, several years ago, we commissioned a coin, and it's the Friday's Heroes coin. It says Mayor's Public Safety Heroes Award, and it talks about police, fire, and emergency management. And we had it specifically designed for this purpose. So I'd like to give each of these gentlemen one of these with our great gratitude, our appreciation for just going out there and protecting our families and our property, and just keeping us safe on a day-to-day basis. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Most of the time we do Friday's Heroes with our police and fire, and then we'll also do the Employee of the Week. But occasionally we'll bring a civilian, so to speak, someone from outside in to give an award to, and that's what we're doing today with our Good Samaritan and Local Hero Award. That today goes to Dr. Barry Ramo, who many of us recognize. He's on TV, I think, more than I am, and that's a good thing. But today,
nobody's after me either.
yeah, but today we're honoring Dr. Ramo for really going above and beyond. You know, in his day job, he saves lives. He's a physician, a cardiologist, and he's impacted many people in a very positive way. But what a lot of people may or may not know is that he's also been personally responsible for 25,000 people in the city of Albuquerque being trained in CPR. And that is a life-changing thing to happen to any city, and those things don't happen without a champion. They don't happen without a leader and someone who brings resources to the situation. And so Dr. Ramo has been extraordinary in his efforts with Project Heart Start. As I said, he founded this in 2010, and to this point 25,000 people in New Mexico have been trained, your mayor included. Several months ago I went to Johnson Gym at the University of New Mexico and took part. It's quick, it's easy to learn, and it really matters. And it all started with one annual event, now Project Heart Start, and it has expanded now to monthly sustainable training throughout our community. Now the program spans from schools to private businesses, the New Mexico Heart Institute, APS, and charter middle and high schools, local senior centers, local companies. Everybody's getting involved in this. And back in June, Chief Downey and I, as I said a minute ago, participated in the Project Heart Start training. By taking this training, we were literally gaining the ability and the knowledge to save a person's life. If you haven't been certified, if you haven't received the training, I would certainly encourage everyone to participate. It's easy to do, as I said, it's easy to find, and Dr. Ramo's done a wonderful job of compressing it into a time frame where almost anybody can make the time in their day to learn this. We're actually working with the city of Albuquerque as well with Dr. Ramo to make sure that we have as many of our employees trained as possible. With this certification, we can prevent unnecessary cardiac deaths in our community, and it's just the right thing to do. It's a good thing to do, and I couldn't be more proud of Dr. Ramo in our community. And so what I'd like to do today, and we're going to have Dr. Ramo speak here in just a moment, is we have we have a Samaritan Award that I'll be giving to Dr. Ramo today. And it says, on behalf of the entire city of Albuquerque, I, Richard J. Berry, Mayor of Albuquerque, thank you for your care and dedication. Your hard work and ingenuity to save lives makes you a champion for our community. So, Dr. Ramo, thank you very much. We appreciate all of you do. And I'm going to have Dr. Ramo tell you a little bit, but he brought some guests with him today. Terry Kosan is here. today, and Ed Jaworski, and they've got a special story that they're going to tell you as well. And I'm going to let Dr. Ramo introduce them and talk a little bit about his passion for this great event. Dr.
Great,
Ramo.
thank you very much. Part of this, what you heard this morning, brings a reality to what sudden cardiac arrest means. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you, allow them to tell you the story. Project Heart Start is a free program. It is in virtually every school district in the state, so that every child, at least in 7th or 9th grade, is going to learn this. UNM, New Mexico State freshmen will take this as part of their student orientation. Intel, Sandia Labs are taking this free course. This is a course that's very short. It will teach you basically the 4 elements that you need: the Heimlich maneuver, how to use the AED, compression-only CPR, and very importantly, and distinct from any other course, teaching you the signs of recognizing a heart attack, because the average person who has a heart attack waits 4 hours before they get to the hospital, which means we can't do as much for them, and many of them die. Now, what you heard before with the firefighters and the police, they do this every day, and I think we really should be very proud of what they do. They're highly skilled and they're highly trained, but unless we get the public to do this, we're not really going to make a profound difference. My goal is to train every single person in the state who's capable to do this, and also to place AEDs in every possible city place, and also, as we were talking this morning, hopefully in the police cars. But I want to say about one person, Dorte Hutchison, who's worked with me for several years, who's been a key factor in getting this promoted. She's made friends for Project Heart Start. I thank KOAT to its long-term commitment to health, which without this whole program would not exist if KOAT and Mary Lynn Roper had not thought it was important, and the New Mexico Heart Institute Foundation, which came up with the money to do this. I'm very proud to introduce these 2 people, and she's going to tell you a story which will give you a real sense of why this is so important. Terry, why don't you go ahead and tell her what happened.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. Well, I took Project Heart Start CPR training in the spring. My sister and I decided to take this class because, well, our parents are in their late 80s, and it would be a good idea to learn CPR. It was easy to get into a class at the Highland Senior Center, so I took that class. Little did I know that August 14th, I would be using that CPR on my husband. Ed is a spin instructor at Midtown Sports and Wellness. He was feeling ill that morning. We stopped the class, got him in the car, and I said, we are going right to ER. We pulled out of the parking lot, or out of the parking spot, right in front of the door to Midtown Sports and Wellness. We just happened to randomly be right there, and Ed went into sudden cardiac arrest. We found out later from his doctors that he actually died. I laid him down in the seat. I went inside, and because of the Project Heart Start training, I'm a graphic artist. I don't know how this kicked in, but I ran in the door and I said, call 911 and get the AED. And I went right back out to Ed, and I immediately started chest compressions on Ed. A few minutes later, the team from Sports and Wellness came out, I think 5 people, and they are my heroes to come out as quickly as they did, got Ed out of the car, and a couple of trainers started giving Ed CPR. He still has a sore chest because of it, but thank God they saved him. They knew just what to do with the AED, and got him stabilized, I guess, before the ambulance got there. They used the defibrillator twice on Ed and continued compressions the whole time. What the training actually taught me was I didn't panic in that situation. I was absolutely terrified inside, but I knew how to respond and I knew what to do, and I thank you and your program for teaching me that. They teach you the little things, staying alive, staying alive. I did that. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I started compressions. And thinking back, I thought, how did I do that? How did I even remember that? But it kicked in, I did what I was supposed to do, and I kept my composure, and I was able to do my job and do what I was supposed to do. Before the class, I wouldn't have known. I would have gone, Ed, wake up, and
Well, Ed, Ed, what does it feel
whoa,
like to have
so
your life
it
back?
was intense.
Well, I'm 45 days old as of today. And I am just like overwhelmed with emotions. And when my cardiologist told me a couple of days ago that I had died, I hadn't heard that. It's really hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
And I don't suggest doing it. It's not a good thing.
But he looks great, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Looks great. You want to be in the car with me.
Absolutely. I have nothing but the best to say about Dr. Ramo and Heart Start
Oh,
because
it's amazing.
they helped. I
It's
mean,
emotional.
they knew. Everybody there is trained. At Sports and Wellness, everybody gets trained every 2 years, and I highly suggest going to one of the classes because you never know when a family or a friend is going to
You never know.
need help. So I'm blessed to be here, and hopefully I have a few more miles left on it.
Yeah.
You look great. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for sharing your
you.
story. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Bailey. Thank you. Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
So Mayor, I'm really grateful to you for highlighting this program because it is so important. And I think when you hear a story like this, you understand why this is so important. Here is a man who's had a full life. He's a spin teacher, and he had no idea he was going to have a problem. This happens 400,000 times a year. With the average survival of an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest is 5%. We are going to change that in this community. We're going to make this community the safest place possible with the outstanding fire and police department that we have and with Project Heart Start. So I really appreciate what you're supporting this, Mayor.
Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. And this morning, we actually started talking with Dr. Ramo, and last week I had a conversation with Chief Downey. There's an app. You know, you hear that old joke, there's an app for that? Well, there's an app called Pulse Point that Chief Downey and I are going to start working to bring into the city of Albuquerque. And to do this, we're going to work with Dr.
Yeah,
Ramo,
absolutely.
Red Cross, and others. And here's what the application will do. When somebody in our city has a cardiac arrest and there's a 911 call to do that, that goes through our dispatchers. We have a location on that. We're going to have people. I'm never without my phone. But I turn out I'm without it now. We're going to allow people in the city of Albuquerque, and this will take us several months to get this put into place, but if you're someone who's been certified on CPR, if you've gone through Project Heart Start, it's a perfect example, you'll be able to sign up for an app. And if there's a call to 911, and they're using this in other cities around the country now, not that many would be on the forefront of this, and you are nearby, and you are signed up, and you are certified, you will get an alert on your phone that says someone within, we'll have to decide if it's 1 block or 100 yards or whatever it happens to be, that has had a heart attack, and it will make you aware of that. So if you want to be a good Samaritan and get on the scene while we're waiting those few critical minutes for police and fire to show up, you'll be able to do that. We don't have any formal announcements on Pulse Point today, but it just shows you how technology is changing our lives. Training, education changes our lives, and it's always just on a piece of paper until you hear a story about Terry and Ed, or when I was at training at Johnson Gym, the woman that was training me had saved the woman's life who was also training me. So it comes down to people, it comes down to lives, and you've been driving this for many years in our city, Doc, since 2010, and I just want to say thank you as a grateful mayor and a grateful community.
I appreciate
Thank you, sir.
that. Thank you very
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, the city of Albuquerque this last week was really put into the national spotlight in a very, very positive way. And it was done through a public-private partnership. It was done because we are doing something very unique in the city of Albuquerque, something, frankly, that I don't know of any other city that's doing exactly like we are. And we have some real champions here. And what I'm talking about is Running Start for Careers. And Running Start for Careers in a boiled-down compressed format is basically this. Back in 2007, when I was in the state legislature, I had a conversation with some high school students. And I asked them the question, what's it like for you as a high school student when you are in school and you don't necessarily have a clear career path and you're kind of struggling to find your way? And the stories I got back were both heart-wrenching and difficult to listen to in a lot of cases, because a lot of the students really felt like they didn't know exactly why they were in school. They knew it was important. They knew they needed to graduate, but there wasn't, for some of them, there wasn't a lot of passion in that equation. So we started talking to students about what would you like? What would make a difference for you? And one of the things that I kept hearing over and over again was, I need to know why this matters. Why does geometry matter? Why do I need to learn this stuff? Because I don't really know how it really applies to my day-to-day life. And I also heard that maybe I'm not on my way to college, maybe I am on my way to college, but I'd really like to come out of high school with some skill sets above and beyond just a high school diploma. I want a running start. So we started this program. We changed the state law to allow non-traditional teachers to teach in the classrooms in any one of our 89 school districts. APS is the only school district doing this right now. And so then I went to industry and I said, you want a workforce that matters, you want people coming out of high school that are ready to either enter college or enter the workforce, I need you as business to step up. And I need you to provide curriculum, I need you to provide instruction, I need you to provide an opportunity for these students. That's what Running Start for Careers is all about. And we've come a long way since 2007. My first year as mayor, we put $200,000 in the budget. Thank you to our city council. They've continued to put $200,000 in each year. And what we do is we go to private industry and we say, develop this curriculum, teach our kids, get them a high school diploma and a running start. That's all a precursor to talk about some of the great work that Shana Runck has done at New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union. And I've got a number of people with me here today that I'll be introducing throughout this. But we're thrilled that they number one, joined our Running Start for Careers program. Number two, they bring a great private sector perspective, and they also bring much needed job openings. If you look at the unemployment numbers for young folks are way higher than the national average. I already went into some detail on Running Start for Careers, but today we're recognizing our partners in this effort. So New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union, Mr. Terry Laudick, who's also been involved in helping with Innovate ABQ, bringing this whole innovation district to downtown. This credit union put $3 million up to help the university buy the First Baptist Church site. True believers in what we're trying to get done here, true partners. He's been dedicated to this project as well. Robin Brule is here with us. Robin actually works in my office on loan at no taxpayer expense because Terry pays for her salary to be here working on Living Cities, working on these other grant applications that we're doing and other things. Michelle Deerholt is here with us as well. And then, of course, Shana Runck is here, and she's going to speak. Earlier this week, Shana and New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union were actually honored in Washington, D.C. To receive the Champions of Change Award from the White House. Shana has been instrumental in creating a robust financial curriculum for industry-taught courses offered through Running Start, and she's an educator for the industry-taught courses and was the only private sector recipient of this award in the country. And so that tells me that Running Start's making a difference as well. So we're honored that her hard work has made a real difference, and we're thrilled that she was nationally recognized at the White House. I asked her, I said, where were you? She goes, oh, we were in the West Wing. That's pretty good. That's where the president hangs out, I think. So Shana developed the program, the Financial Services Career Exploration Curriculum, through the New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union that focuses on careers in the financial industry. And that means anything from tellers to loan officers, from marketing to information services to human resources. And last year, New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union employed 14 interns in order to give students that real-world, on-the-job training in addition to their classroom work. So as I said, this program closes the gap between education and careers, and it provides more credit-earning internships. And a lot of these kids that come through Running Start, by the way, come out of a cohort of students that may graduate maybe at a 65% of them would normally graduate. And I believe Running Start has a graduation rate for the kids that participate of 99%. And we're doing this in construction, in film, hospitality, financial services, medical, laboratory techs. This thing's really taken off, and it's really a national model. We even have people internationally now coming to ask us how they could do Running Start in their country. So I'd like to have Shana come up and tell a little bit about the program that she's put into place and the impact that she's seen, and then I have an award to give these folks as well. So Shana Runck.
Great. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a privilege to be here today and talk about Running Start for Careers in the collaboration with New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union. I'm honored to be recognized by the City of Albuquerque for the Latino Educator Champion of Change Award that we received at the White House earlier this week. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to go to Washington and to the White House to share the innovative approaches that we're utilizing in Albuquerque to provide education and job opportunities for not only Latino youth, but all of the youth here in our city of Albuquerque. I would like to recognize a few of the people. I know, Mary, you did already, but I would like to share a little bit about the roles of Robin and Michelle and Terry in the success of New Mexico Educators' collaboration with Running Start for Careers. Terry Laudick, our president and CEO, of course, provides the vision and the leadership that allows all of us and everybody at the credit union to really make a difference in the community and implement these innovative, meaningful, integrated programs. Robin Brule is very instrumental in, first of all, creating the partnership to begin with New Mexico Educators and the Mayor's Office and Running Start for Careers. And the Mayor talked a little bit about your integrated work, so thank you for your support and your help in the Running Start for Careers and in my work as my supervisor. Also, I'd like to thank Michelle Deerholt, who's our Senior Vice President for Human Resources, Training, and Quality Management. One of the reasons that the Running Start for Careers program and the partnership with New Mexico Educators is so successful is because of our robust internship program. And Michelle is responsible for really creating the framework for that program. We had 14 interns alone just last semester who had the privilege of working at the credit union in a variety of departments. And Michelle is very instrumental in ensuring that the opportunities that these students have and the experience is very meaningful. They're not just stuffing envelopes or getting coffee. They will tell you, and we hear it over and over again, that they're treated like regular employees. They go through the same training that all of us went through when we started at the credit union, and they have very high expectations, and they really rise to the challenge and are appreciative for the meaningful opportunities that they are given. They also earn over $9 an hour for their internship experience, and they earn an additional CNM credit, 3 CNM credits for the internship experience as well. So between the course and the internship, they have the opportunity to earn 6 credits, college credits, while they're still in high school. So those are free of charge and provide them a great opportunity. So again, I would like to thank Robin, Michelle, Terry, and the Mayor for the opportunity to be here today and share the work of Running Start for Careers and New Mexico Educators. Thank you.
Shana, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
I'm going to let Terry say a few words
Great.
too. Terry Laudick, who's the president and CEO of the credit union, and then I've got you save a life, you get a mug. You help kids, you get a mug.
Honor to get them.
Yeah, big on mugs.
Well, if you'll excuse me just a moment, but you'll notice the lectern's a little higher for the mayor, and it probably is blocking most of my face, which is not all that great to present either. But, you know, we're very proud of the recognition from the mayor's office and also from the White House, and very proud of Shana and her work. At the credit union, we've been supporting educators and education for over 75 years. And over the past 20 years, we've been trying to find more opportunities to help bring financial literacy and financial capability into the classroom. And we've done that through a number of different curriculum pieces and workshops and presentations. Staff is often in the classroom teaching classes. And we now have also created a financial capability course that meets the Common Core standards and is now being taught at over 50 different middle schools, high schools, and community centers, which is also a component of the curriculum that Shana created and now instructs. So, but there's 2 components that I think that make this the most success and take us from just trying to have an impact to really having success. And that is, first of all, the Mayor's initiative on Running Start for Careers and the support from APS and CNM. Without them bringing this in and giving the college credit and giving the opportunity to the students, it may not present quite the opportunities that they seek. The second component, though, is having the staff that we have compiled here, along with Shana, people who are compassionate and passionate about education and about our youth, and are also very passionate about the credit union cooperative principles and trying to support our own community, creating that opportunity for self-help. And that's what we're all about, and we appreciate the mayor taking the opportunity to recognize Shana and the credit union. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. So, Shana, for you and your other team members, we have a public-private partnership award that we're giving and a mug. And so,
Save your life mug.
we want to thank it. And I'll just add one more thing. For a lot of these students in Running Start, this is the first time that anybody in their family has ever received a college credit.
Yes.
So I hear from students over and over again in the Running Start program, I didn't think I could ever I got a college credit. I can do college. They see this future. So it's all about bridging that gap, that hope gap, if you will, that opportunity gap of hey, going from where you are today to seeing that there's a bright future. So we appreciate your leadership, Shana.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we have the same award for everybody here today. So thank you to the credit union, Terry, for all you do in our community, really paving the way and showing a lot of the private sector that we can really do things well when we team up between the private sector, the public sector, the philanthropic sector, and everybody else. So just on a closing note, I just want people to kind of sit back and think. We talked about a lot of things today, but if you're watching this on GovTV, if you're watching this on the media, your heart should be lifted up for the city that we live in. I mean, look, we have firefighters out there every day saving lives. We've got police officers saving lives. We've got family members saving lives. We've got Dr. Ramo out there leading the charge to build our community up and make it a safer place. We've got private sector putting time, talent, and resources into helping our students to help augment the educational system. We've got higher education working with secondary education. This is why Albuquerque is a special place. And I travel as a mayor, and I was just in San Francisco yesterday talking to people about our city. And I meet mayors from all over the country. And I'm the biggest cheerleader for our city, and you should be that if you're the mayor, but it is so easy for me to tell people around the country how special Albuquerque is. We're a beautiful place. We're a wonderful place to live. It's a wonderful environment, but it's really made up of the people, and this is just a perfect example of why we're blessed to live in this great city. So thanks for everybody for coming out and bringing your families, and thanks for all that you do, and we appreciate you very much, and have a good week, everybody. Thanks.